One thing that I've realized is that we all wear many hats in life. So in my case, I'm a son, I'm a husband, I'm a brother, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a speaker, I'm an author, I'm an uncle. And with all these different roles that we do in life, we have to find a way to balance everything. If you are like me and you're busy and you have so many businesses, your life commitments, with your family and so forth and so forth, it can easily become very tough for you to have certain areas of your life to go out of balance. So in this video, I'm just going to talk about a system that I use to make sure that I don't leave any area of my life neglected, because it's very easy for you to neglect one area or maybe even more and focus on maybe kind of like one or two priorities. The challenge with that is that if you neglect certain areas, like let's say your health and your wellness or your finances, and maybe just focus on your business, you might end up in a very bad state. Your health could be in jeopardy and you might not be able to actually show up for the business, or you might even have a bad family situation because you weren't really paying attention to that. So in this video, I'm just going to talk about how to master every single area of your life using a very simple tool that I'm going to share with you that's called the Wheel of Life. And for those that don't know me, my name is Kuda Biza and I'm a serial entrepreneur. I started my first business when I was 9 years old, and I've been able to start 7 more businesses. And what I'm passionate about, I want to help other entrepreneurs to reach their fullest potential. So like I said earlier, what I'm going to be sharing with you is a tool that I use to make sure that my life is in balance. Because it's super important for you to make sure that your life is in balance. Because if it's not, if one or two areas are out of balance, then it might really cause strain on everything else that you're doing. So the tactic that I'm going to share, I learned it from an executive coach that walked me through this process when I had hired him, when I had graduated college and I was now in corporate America. When I left college and went into the corporate world, I had a very demanding job. I was part of a team that was responsible for launching new businesses in a big multi-billion-dollar company. And I did feel a little bit of imposter syndrome, right? Because I just graduated college. I'd never worked in the corporate world before. So I decided to hire this executive coach so that I could level up, right? But it was probably the best decision that I made, because I was able to turn decades into days, literally, from the work that I did working with him one-on-one, and him teaching me all these different skills that enabled me to really accelerate my potential within the organization. So the tool that I'm going to share with you is called the Wheel of Life. And the Wheel of Life is really quite simple. And the whole basis of this concept is, think of your life as a wheel, right? And it's a round wheel. Every area of your life is in sync. So I hope I did a good wheel, but think of this as your life, as the wheel. And at the center, right, there are all these different spokes, right? So now think of each of these slices of the wheel is kind of like an area of life. So for instance, this is family, right? This is your career. This is health. So you think of all the different areas that affect you in your life. You could put social, your friends, and things like that. For some people, it could be giving. You want to give back, you want to make a difference. Right? Another one could be personal development, and your finances, and spiritual. So it could be, your religion, meditating with your spiritual self. So now think of this line as kind of like marcations, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. all the way up to 10, right? Over here, 7, 8, 9, 10. And what you're going to do is you're going to grade each area of life based on how happy or satisfied you are with that area of life. So like, let's say your health, right? If you feel like you're working out, you're eating right, you're having enough sleep, maybe you're happy with it and you give it an 8. So you give this area of life an 8. And then maybe your social life, you're not as happy with it, right? You probably haven't called your friends in a while, you haven't really hung out because you've been super busy. So maybe you give it a 5. So it's right here. And then with your spiritual life, maybe you give it a 7. And your finances, maybe you're carrying a lot of credit cards, your personal development, and then your giving, and then maybe your family life, and then your career is like a 6. So now what you see, if you were to shade this wheel, you find that your wheel is not in balance, right? Because some parts of the wheel, some of the spokes are bigger than others. What you want to do is you want everything to be at level 10. But some things are at level 1, some things are at level 8, and so forth and so forth. So now what you want to then do is really now start identifying, number 1, the areas that you've been neglecting the most. So in this case, you're giving, right? You haven't been doing well there because you have a very low score. And the same thing here with your personal development. You have a very low score there. Same thing with your finances and so forth and so forth. And what you then want to do is you want to start by setting one goal for each area of life, but mainly starting with the areas that you're not really focused on, the ones that you're not really happy with, because you want to fix those quickly. So come up with a 90-day goal on what you're going to do within the gifting realm to make sure that you take it from a 1 and you increase the satisfaction to a level 10. So it could be you could volunteer more, right? Because on your finances, you're not really happy with your finances, so probably you don't have a lot of money to give. But money is not the only thing that you can give. You can give your time, you can give your attention, and so forth and so forth. So perhaps on the giving side, you give non-monetary, gifts to people in need so that you get to feel good and happy and you're satisfied, and it will raise that section to a higher level, right? So maybe up to here. So your plan for your gifting is for you to be able to give more of your time, your attention, or other things that you could do. With personal development, maybe it's watching an online course or reading a book once a month or hiring a mentor, hiring a coach, or doing some sort of program so that you could learn. You could go to a conference or something, but you want to come up with a goal of what you're going to do in the next 90 days so that you increase your level of satisfaction for that particular area of life. And then you just want to do that for every area of life. Now, I know I just kind of like did the rough drawing here, but if you go on to the This Is My Era website, in fact, the link is in the description below. We actually have a tool that you just fill in the answers to the questions for the 8 areas of life that are featured, and it will automatically generate a PDF for you that's sent to your email, and you can then take that Wheel of Life report and then start planning what you're going to do in the different areas of life so that you can start making a change. Now, I just wanted to share this quick and simple trick because sometimes in life, maybe you're really focused on your career because that pays the bill, and you start neglecting all these areas of life. But the key to life is you want to make sure that you balance everything out, because the ultimate failure in life is success without fulfillment. Your ability to make sure that your life is in balance will ultimately lead you to being fulfilled. So it's super important that you use the Wheel of Life concept to really master every single area of your life. So go take it on the This Is My Era website. It's totally free. You don't have to pay anything for it. And then use that tool to then identify the areas that you're neglecting and then be able to go out there and change your life. Thank you so much for joining. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them in the comments, and subscribe to the channel so that you can get updates whenever we drop amazing content like this.